Recently, it's been leaked that NVIDIA had a card in the works that was a complete monster, a titan if you may. The Ada Lovelace Titan card would have been 4 slots in size, which made the engineers mount the motherboard to the side of the graphics card instead of mounting the graphics card to the side of the motherboard as you would see in a traditional PC build. Quite a funny visual if you think about it. This card would also draw 600 watts in power, quite a bit less than the estimated 800 to 1000 watts some people were saying, but still an absolutely insane amount. My ITX PC right there doesn't draw that much power, and this was apparently enough to trip breakers, melt power supplies, and at the end of the day, melt itself. Considering what would have been under the hood of the Ada Titan, it makes sense. To give you an idea, we would have gotten a full AD102 die instead of the cut down one for the 4090. 2 16-pin connectors, and enough GDDR6 memory to melt the card. Yeah, my guess is that the memory is the part that melted. We already know how hot this stuff runs, so it's a pretty safe bet. Looking at it with all those factors, it's understandable that the card was cancelled by NVIDIA, or at least put on hold for the time being. According to some reports, the Titan could make a return in the future when GDDR7 makes its debut, which further reinforces my theory that the memory components were the pieces that melted. In the meantime though, we can expect something else from NVIDIA, the 4090 Ti. This bad boy will be packing a partially cut AD102 chip with 18,176 CUDA cores, 11% more than the 4090, and boosting up to a possible 3 GHz for its clock speed, which puts it 19% faster than the 4090. To pair with this card is 24 GB of GDDR6 memory running at a transfer speed of 24 gigabits per second across a 384-bit bus. This would give a bandwidth of 1.152 terabytes per second, a nice 14% faster than its little brother, all for a small 25 more watts than the 4090 for a grand total of 475 watts, which makes sense when there have been people reporting to undervolt the 4090 to around 70% of its original power and getting the same level of performance. Plenty of headroom for their 4090 Ti, and especially with the extra 25 watts on top. With these kind of specs, the 4090 Ti should be getting somewhere between around 10 to 20% more performance over the standard 4090. This would push the 4090 Ti to double the performance of the 3090 Ti and even possibly surpass it. Doing some quick math, the 4090 costs about 6.67% more than 3090 Ti at launch. If we apply this to the 3090 Ti when they're trying to get numbers for the 4090 Ti, that gets us $2,132.36. Combing NVIDIA's love for looking at nice numbers and then liking to overcharge their customers, I would say it's going to be a grand total of $2,199 for the 4090 Ti. A monster of a price tag for a monster of a card, but at least it seems like this card would earn its namesake, unlike the 4080 12GB model. If you want to see some numbers that I put together on the 4080 12GB model, go check out this video and I'll see you next time.